What is up? So today I wanted to make a quick Banlist Wishlist type of video. As always, I'm going to make it more on the wishlist side rather than prediction, because I don't know what Konami's going to do, but this is what I want them to do. This prediction, or this wish list, is meant to be for pre-Power of the Elements format, so it's not taking into account the results from this weekend where Splight was dominating quite a bit. So this is basically the list that they should have released before Power of the Elements became legal. And hopefully they will release a list soon, and we don't have to deal with like 4 more months of this. Okay, so Forbidden, Mystic Mine. This is the most important hit by far on here. This card has to go. There's not too much to explain. If you've played against it, you know exactly why it needs to be banned. It's completely degenerate, takes 0 skill, it encourages stalling, it is just a horribly designed card, not fun to play or to play against, and yeah, this card needs to go. It's long overdue. The last format was a pretty big indication of that, with a Sky Striker player winning a YCS with literal Mystic Mine Turbo, and even the most recent NAWCQ, the finals, basically Mystic Mine versus Mystic Mine. Yep. Even the Sword Soul player was playing it. Yeah, this card is cancer. It's gotta go. Similarly, Artifact Scythe, this one's also overdue. It's too easy to pull off a Scythe lock, and pretty easy to protect it. Locking your opponent out of an entire game mechanic for the rest of the turn is stupid. There's really no other way to put it. It's draw droplets or you lose, or draw called by. Yeah, this card shouldn't exist. Hulk, also overdue. If you thought Auroradon was a problem, hopefully you realized how wrong you are by now. If not, you're probably never going to see it. How do I know? Because Auroradon got banned, and did Hulk see any less play? Nope. If anything, it saw more, because more people are on Punk. This card is extremely broken, facilitates so many powerful combos. So many that have been banned over the past couple of years since it came out. All kinds of stuff with different tuners caused them to be banned, and now people are scythe locking with it. It just does too much. Card needs to go. Speaking of cards that do too much, Chaos Ruler, the Chaotic Magical Dragon. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. If you played with this card or played against it, you should know why it should be banned. It's a potential +5. If you play it in a deck that has a lot of good targets, like Dragon Link or in Punk, or any deck that plays a lot of hand traps, it can search hand traps. It can mill cards like Fairy Tale Snow. It can mill other cards to search. It can mill Water Enchantress. It can mill. I mean, it's ridiculous. And that's just the first effect. It's also a 3k beater that can bring itself back for free, pretty much, and help push for lethal. Like you'll get OTK'd with Chaos Ruler plus Access Code quite a lot. It's very annoying and very hard to stop as well. And yeah, in addition to that, it facilitates going into Hot Red Dragon Abyss. It facilitates going into Barone. Facilitates even King Calamity, even though not that many people play it, but that's still just another thing that this card can enable. I think this card is it does way too much, and needs to go. Next card on my Forbidden wish list is Called by the Grave. This is a card that I used to like a lot, as I think I mentioned in previous videos, because I used to really hate hand traps, and I loved resolving Called by the Grave, but now I see why this card should not exist. You need hand traps to stop powerful combo decks. I mean, even the pre-Power of the Elements format, I'm not even talking about Sprite, but just every other combo deck in existence. And if they just have open this Saki one of, then you just lose. This card is extremely broken, and it should be gone. Dimension Shifter. I don't know if this is an unpopular take, but I think this card is too powerful. If it was errata to say it just lasts 1 turn, then I think it would be fine. But lasting 2 turns is just, it's too much, and there's almost nothing you can do to stop it, except having card opening like Gamma. Like that's it. It just completely turns off so many decks. It's very annoying. I hate this card. Shouldn't exist. And neither should Harpy's Featherstorm. Like these three cards are just like pretty much in the same category of cards that just skip your opponent's turn. You have to, for these two, you draw red reboot or you lose. It's horrible. These cards shouldn't exist. Yeah, I mean, again, pretty self-explanatory. And then the next one, maybe an unpopular take, but Anti-Spell Fragrance should also go. It puts basically your opponent, if you draw Anti-Spell, it puts them in an unwinnable situation. Because even if you go full combo and set up a big board with like multiple Omni Negates, Barone, Hot Red, Borderland Dragon, they could still at least potentially play with a card like Dark Ruler. But this turns off even that and every other spell in the game. Obviously, that's not like Forbidden Droplet. Yeah, I think this card is just, it's too much. It's Imperial Order Light. It's not that much worse than Imperial Order, let's be real. Not that much worse. Yeah, it's extremely good. Yeah, I think this card should go. Limited section. Let's just do this. I think the Adventure Engine needs to be hit. It saw a lot of play the past couple formats. It's still seeing play. It's going to always see play because it's inherently an extremely powerful engine. I think Enchantress is the most powerful card probably in the engine because it facilitates. It gets you to right. It recycles it from graveyard. It's a free body. It can be dumped off of like any Cherubini, I guess, if you play that. But a Shooting Riser is more common. So it's really easy to access as follow-up. It can start the Adventure Engine by itself. I think this card is the one that needs to be limited the most, and I think that right could probably go to 2 for now. And then my hot take is that Pot of Prosperity and Desire should both go to 1. So like when the 2 lists ago when Pot of Desires was put to 1, I was a little confused. I didn't really see why they would do something like that. Like it seemed like it was an indirect hit to Sword Soul, but I noticed once Pot of Desires came back to 2, that it actually makes a really big difference in Sword Soul and every deck that plays this card. It's so damn good. It is Pot of Greed. I think it should be at 1. Like having it as something that you could sometimes draw, but not very often is acceptable. But then for Pot of Prosperity, so putting this to 1, I think would be a really good indirect nerf to like Floowandereeze, Sky Striker, and even a preemptive hit to Sprite, and a whole bunch of decks that play it. It would also have the added benefit of hopefully dropping the price of this card, but that's not really the main reason. But I think it would be a good consistency hit to a lot of different decks. Hit it to Eldritch too, which is nice. Fuck Eldritch. Yeah, I think Prosperity to 1 would be pretty cool to see. Okay, then for Despia hits, I do think Despia should be hit, because although it wasn't like the top deck the last format, still did see a lot of representation in multiple different variants of the deck, like Predator Plant, Branded, Eldritch, and then obviously the Despia version. I think this will be a pretty big hit, putting Albion to 1, like a really significant hit. If you played any variant of Despia, you know how crucial this card is. So this might be too overkill, I guess, putting it to 1, but I don't know. I don't think Branded Fusion needs to be hit at the moment. Maybe it could be, but Albion is so powerful. It allows, it has the effective Fusion Summon, which is self-explanatory why it's so powerful. Then being able to grab or set Branded Fusion or Branded in Red is like crazy. And having like 2 or 3 copies of this card gives you like an insane grand game. Similarly, merge it to 1. I'm not sure how impactful this would be, but yeah, just having to only deal with 1 would be cool, I suppose. I'm not going to be going into unlimited cards because there are a whole bunch of cards that could come off the ban list. Don't feel like thinking about all of that right now, but these are like the key cards that I think need to be hit in some way, shape, or form to promote a more healthy game. That is about all that I have for this video. I really hope this banlist comes soon, and we don't have to deal with an entire another format of Mystic Mine, because it makes me not want to play the game genuinely. Same with all this shit. Yep. Alright, thanks for watching. Peace.